Hey guys, what is up? So this week we are starting our new series called Eden, right? I know it sounds weird, garden, oh, what's that all about back in the beginning? But listen, it's going to be a lot of fun. 4 parts, we're going to break it down, and we're really going to explore what the Bible talks about when it talks about heaven on earth. I know it's a weird concept, but let's get right into it. So I'm going to ask you guys, who has ever heard the term the kingdom of God? I know it's a pretty popular term. You hear it all the time. Preachers say it. You see it on t-shirts. It's on every person's grandmother's plaque sitting somewhere in their house. The Lord's Prayer, your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. What does that mean? Right? We're wondering, what does that even mean? What does it mean to be on earth as it is in heaven? What is the kingdom of God? What does that actually mean? It has to be important. I don't know if you guys actually knew this or not, but actually Jesus, when he was on earth, talked more about the kingdom of God than he talked about anything. That was the only thing he really preached. He ever talked about. Everywhere he went, he talked about the kingdom of God. So it's got to be important. So I think that it's really important that we kind of explore it together as a group. But I feel like before we can discover what the kingdom of God is, we actually have to discover what it even means to be a kingdom. What is a kingdom? What is the definition of a kingdom? And in like the dictionary, you go through whatever you go through, history class, whatever you want to call it, a kingdom, it's where the king lives. It's where the king dwells. It's where the king of that area rules and reigns and has a domain and lives there. So that's why, England was called the English kingdom, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what it was called. I didn't listen in history class. But basically, it literally means that in its simplest form, a kingdom is the dwelling place of a king, where a king lives. So at its most basic truth, the kingdom of God is wherever God is the king and wherever God rules and reigns and lives. And I know for people who grew up in the church like me, you hear the term Jesus lives in me, God lives in me all the time, to the point that it kind of just becomes trivial. Like, it doesn't actually mean anything. Oh, Jesus lives in me, God lives in me. Yeah, I get that. But it's actually, it's so much more important than people think it is. I mean, it's like pretty much ingrained in us actually before we even really start our own personal Christian walk. Like, Jesus is in me, Jesus is in me. But we gloss over it. We don't realize the importance of it. And when you realize what it actually means to have God living in you as king, it changes everything. It changes how you see everything. I want you guys to look back. This series is called Eden. In the beginning, God made a garden. It was a perfect garden full of beautiful things. He made creation, and then all of a sudden he made man, and he placed man in this garden, and he himself, Jesus himself, was the lifeblood of the place they lived in, this Garden of Eden, because it was a place where man and God met. They walked together, they talked together, they met face to face, they were in each other's presence, in each other's company. And Adam and Eve lived there in perfect harmony, eating of the tree of life. They were living in perfect unity with God. God was with them, walked with them, and he transformed them to look like he did. So this place, Eden, this is where man used to go to meet with God. This is where heaven met earth. It literally means where heaven and earth collided. They were in the same place. But then all of a sudden we messed up. You've heard the story a million times. We were separated. I've told you guys this already. But Jesus came. Jesus paid the price to sever the veil in half, shred it up the middle, and all of a sudden the separation between heaven and earth was gone. Eden was where heaven met earth. But when we messed up, earth and heaven separated again. But in walks Jesus, King of Kings, Lord of Lords, steps in, rips open the veil, and removes the separation between us and heaven. So, in its simplest form, we talk about kingdom come. We talk about Eden. These are things we talk about, heaven on earth. But we wonder what it means. The kingdom of heaven is where heaven meets earth. And it's where the king lives. And now, because of Jesus, the king lives in you. In the beginning, there was a garden. And then there was a temple. Now there's no more separation, there's no more distance, just oneness. This is the kingdom of God, and you are Eden.